So, let's dial in a cool blues sound. That's the goal today. And for this job, I have my Mesa Boogie amp and a bunch of pedals. And I'll be very open-minded, see what we can do. We can even replace, I think, maybe the Friedman with this full-tone OCD. We'll see if that's what we're going to do. Let's just start and see what we have here. Okay, very dry, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is just try to get something cool out of the amp on its own. I mean, it's a very good amp, and that should be possible. Now, I have the clean channel engaged, and there are 3 voicings on it. I think it's called Clean, Fat, and Tweed. Fat is like a Fenderish sound. And the Tweed is more, I think, like a maybe pushed or Vox sound or something. I don't know. But the sound isn't really doing anything for me right now, so we're gonna have to tweak a little bit. Well, you can hear with a bit of pick accents, it does sound pretty cool. So let's see here. Okay. Okay, so immediately I feel that there isn't really enough gain here. So we have a couple of options. The first thing I'm going to do is just try to push the amp a little bit with a booster or the EQ and see what happens. It's already much cooler. Just listen to this. It's a little bit on the bright side. Turn down the mids a little bit. So that's how it sounded when I pushed the sound a little bit. Let's see. Texas Flood. Is that Texas Flood or something? I haven't played covers for decades. So pushing the sound was, I think, a winning recipe here. But there are different ways we can do it. And I'm going to skip the Dynacomp for now. It's a pretty cool pedal. I use it a lot, but let's try the 10-band EQ instead. So I'm going to increase the gain a little bit so it acts more as a booster. Checking our levels okay here. A little bit loud. Pretty nice. So those are 2 different ways we can boost the signal. And I could go into and actually change the EQ here. I could give it more warmth maybe, but I'm gonna try the tube screamer because that's really where I want to go. I mean, you might have sensed it already. don't use the overdrive that much on the Tube Screamer, but I have discovered that it can sound pretty cool with some overdrive coming from the Tube Screamer. Most people use it, you just use a tone on the level knob, especially if you use it for high gain stuff. But I think that if you use it on a clean sound, it can get a bit interesting with the overdrive. Caleb, awesome, you found your way back. Morning, everyone. So now, what I'm gonna do is try different cab with... Ooh, I like that. It's a big difference, right? So if we go back to the old cab. This is much more in your face, whereas this has a bit of room in it. I don't know if you agree. Hopefully you guys can hear me when I speak. Daniel, what's up? Oh, I like this a lot. So now we're heading somewhere. I mean... So, yeah, I'm sure we can do something with this. I mean, that's, a lot of times it's the breakup you're looking for, and this really gives me the breakup, and I think that's thanks to the overdrive knob on the Tube Screamer. Yes, Caleb, I noticed you changed your profile picture. So, I'm not there anymore, right? I can't see what it is. Pretty small on my screen. So, let's turn down the overdrive. Now with the overdrive. So a lot of the breakup actually comes from the Tube Screamer now. Oh, it's your dog, Ellie. Good to meet your dog. Very nice. So we could now shape some more and maybe hit the Tube Screamer with a bit more power using the 10-band EQ. The 10-band EQ is before the Tube Screamer in the chain, so I have it to kind of shape the sound coming out from the guitar. That's how I use it. So now it sounds very pushed, so I'm gonna pull back the gain a little bit. So let's see what we can do with this. I'm gonna go for some more extreme settings on it. Let's see how that shapes. That didn't really do it for me, so let's see here. Still a bit too much low end, I would say. Guitar Page, what's up? Funky blues sound. This isn't really funky. A little bit maybe, but I really want to dial in a cool lead tone that has, you know, expression and juice and some playability. All of that into one would be pretty cool. I'm not sure we're gonna do that. We'll see. But so I'll leave the 10-band EQ a little bit. I mean, this guitar does sound pretty good on its own, so usually It's not really needed unless you really want to go for something extreme. I could do with the booster instead, since I don't need that coloring of the sound. But however, this booster comes after the tube screamer, which I'm not sure it's ideal, but let's try it. So I don't need any of the compression here. I think this sound is already pretty compressed and pushed. Okay, so now you can hear it does add something to the sound. Oh no, maybe it doesn't. The downside with this pedal is you can't see when it's on. Ah, that's really bad. So it does sound a little bit pushed, but it doesn't contribute to anything, so I'll just leave that out. So far only the tube screamer and the amp is what we're going for. Guitar page, this is factory worn. It's a relic guitar. It's a, well, you should see it pretty well here, I think. Oh man, I need to get used to these cameras. It's a vintage Icon guitar, and I have swapped the pickups for bare knuckle Apache. So it's a fairly low end guitar, but it's still great sounding, and I've done a lot of mods to it, so it's like I have a lot of personal affection to it. But I mean, I think the cost of the pickups are as high as the actual guitar, just to show you that this is just it's not a Frankenstein guitar, but it's my first like pimped do-it-yourself guitar, and yeah, it turned out better than I expected. You know, it's the one that sounds the most stratty, and one of the guitars I play the most. People are very curious about the scallop. Usually, I've done this. I don't know if you can tell. Maybe it's better here. Yeah, I've done like a Blackmore inspired scallop, and if you want to see it in detail, just check my shorts, because there I have really good close-up angles on the fretboard. But it's a lot of fun, this guitar. Okay. So here we have it. I think we could do with more reverb and delay. That would enhance things here. Maybe a little less bass. We can also try the graphic EQ on the amp, perhaps. I'm not sure about that actually. Actually, that's pretty good, but it's not better, it's just good. You have a lot of mid-range disappearing there, so I prefer it without it. But I am gonna try a different distortion pedal, just for fun, because I've never tried dialing in a blues sound with a Friedman BEOD. This is pretty good. Wow, this is better than I thought actually. So this is not worse, it's just difference. That's the tube screamer. Okay, so here's a Friedman. Mitchell, welcome, man. So this is a very nice, more like a bit more modern sounding blues, maybe, I don't know. But now, one of the things I haven't really figured out yet with the Friedman is I kind of lack a mid-range knob on it, but that's probably because the Tube Screamer is a big mid-range knob on its own. That's what it is. And I think that the larger versions of the BOD have a mid-range knob. But I usually have been able to work around it just by using this stuff on the amp. Chili Nuts. So I'm playing mostly the like the blues scale, the E minor pentatonic, right? So that's you know, the trusty box on the 12th fret, but then you can add the 15th fret blues note there. Maybe we can fix the light a little bit here. Let's see. Oh no, we can't. That's better. Okay. So now when it's getting good, the sound, that's when I start to look at the guitar a little bit more. Maybe we can change pickups and we can roll down the tone and do that kind of stuff. And also we need to start looking at the reverb and delay, because that's going to have a very impactful tone shaping effect. You can hear the pickup positions make a big difference right now. Cool. So it still sounds a bit too dry, I would say. My Own Summer. Something like that, right? Of course we would have to. Something like that, right? We got Sayori here, my man. Blues riff. Save some women for us. Oh, you're funny. I'm gonna try to save some women for you, if there are enough. Okay, so I think if you roll back the tape and compare what we had in the beginning, there's a definite improvement here. So this guitar is a vintage Icon V6. It's factory, but I've put different pickups in it. I've done some scalloping to it, some fret leveling. I've just used it as a springboard for trying like do-it-yourself stuff. And it turned out better than I thought. I mean, I'm sure people would complain, rough edges and stuff like that, but it sounds awesome and I like it, so it's good for me, you know. I'm sure I'd ruin the value of it, but it wasn't a very high value guitar from the beginning. And if I play it every day and, you know, record shorts that reach millions of people, then it's done its job, even though I might have messed up the value a little bit. But it's interesting how good the Friedman pedal performed compared to the Tube Screamer here. What if I run both together? Let's try it. Ah, too much. Let's try the EQ. No, that's not needed. Okay, so I'll play a song. We can jam a little bit. Let's see what we have here. Wrong key. So this is D minor. The noise gate was kicking in. Oh, D major, sorry. So as you can hear, this isn't really a bluesy track, but I still do benefit a lot from this, you know, expressive and touch-sensitive blues sound. Good question, Seor. Is this a Mark Knopfler tone? I don't know that much about Dialing in his tone, but I am inspired by him. So yeah, I think maybe he would. Yeah, he would dial in this tone. He probably wouldn't use a Friedman V overdrive, but maybe he would do something a bit less brighter. Maybe, I'm not sure. But I am a big Knopfler fan. Okay, so that's really a good example of why I've been doing all this. I want a sound where I can go from this to this. That's really what I was aiming for. Because if I can do that, then I can play the same phrase with different picking strength, and it's gonna sound different, right? If I play it like this, or if I do it, you could barely think it's, you know, pretty much the same notes there. I don't know any D, sorry, man. I don't know what Scott this would be actually. So. Something like that maybe. But now that I have a good starting point, I can always come up with variations just by changing the pickups here. So if you look at my right hand, off the gain. There isn't that much left. You can hear how much this pedal does to the sound. Let's turn down the treble a little bit. Turn up the bass a little bit. And tighten the bass a little bit. Too much. Philip Holmes. So do I, so do I. That's pretty cool. I added the Ego compressor. That's a compression pedal, the blue one there, but I have the blend knob set pretty low, so it doesn't do that much compression. Just this gives, speaking of Mark Knopfler, this is more warm. This is something I would associate with him a bit more. That's without it, with it. So it did sacrifice a bit of the dynamics, but it just gives me an overall warmer tone. Sayori, very honored to be with you when you're working. May I ask what you're working with? So I did tweak the sound a little bit more now. I added the onboard graphic EQ, which is it's here on the amp, and it did. Basically now I have a much warmer sound, but that's less touch sensitive. So if I play the same phrase with different attack, you can hear. Still a pretty big difference, but here's how I had it before. I think this would work better in a mix, but since I'm gonna use the sound to record my shorts and I won't be having any other instruments, this could work well. Oh, cool! So you're are you like installing air conditioners, or are you working with the production of them? we should try some different reverbs and see what we can get. So this is a more modern reverb. We had a spring reverb earlier. Try another one. This is nice. They call it cloud reverb. Okay, so you're studying. So this, I think, took the sound from sounding vintage blues to more modern blues. We had this before. Compared to this. This is nice. I prefer this. Sounds very fresh, I think. I think we have the winner here. Old Pigweed, yeah, I love that one. How they're producing this soup. I like it. And he hates the soup. He goes to a restaurant, he orders the soup, and it's like, what the hell did you put in it? But he does it very well. Yeah, and I like those solo albums of his. Thank you, Dom. Your style is very refreshing. Love it. So let's maybe dial in some more, or get some more backing tracks so we can really hear it in action. I should have some backing tracks here, I think. They're not that bluesy, but should work anyway. I also like having minor tracks here. Shazami, what's up? So this would be E minor now. Try increasing the gain a little bit. That's a cool request, Sayori. Let's try playing without the pick. So here's the Jazz 3 pick I was using. Put it away. Helen, what's up? Now you can see the real Mark Knopfler, yeah. Yeah, this is much more Knopflerish, I would agree. Fade to Black? No, I don't remember it. I don't remember. But the intro would be something like... I don't know. Let's go back to our soft thing we had going on there. Maybe another backing track here. Shazam, what's up? Track, but I prefer one with more space. Should we see if we can find something? Yes, this is the Mesa Boogie Mark V. I'm using the clean channel now with the Tweed voicing. So here's E major. Oops. That's gay to me. Ooh, this is good. tweaking, the compressor is actually going to fit nicely in this sound. And just listen to how cool those soft notes sound here. I still have a lot of punch left if I dig in harder. Okay, so I'm gonna do one more attempt with the EQ pedal. I don't think it's gonna work that well, but as I said earlier, this does sound, I mean, the guitar has a really good sound, so it's not really needed to boost the guitar signal. I use it for some other guitars where I often find myself lacking a little bit. You know, I swap the pickups, and I mean, they're good, but in some scenarios, in some situations, they might have like a too harsh tone or not enough low end and stuff like that, and that's when I add this one. This is nice. Check this out. Wow, that's a pretty cool sound. Wait just a second here. Sudden here. Which scratch mark? Oh, you mean this one? No, this is just a factory relic. It looks worn out, but it came like this from factory. I strongly encourage you to watch the beginning of the replay once we're done and compare the sound we have now before. And it's good because sometimes, you know, we get the comment, oh, you don't need all the pedals. And it's true, you get a good sound from a good amp on its own. But with the pedals, I've been able to really lift this. And then I've tweaked back and forth both pedals and amp. And now I think we have something cool going on here. I mean, it's fat, it's in your face, it's expressive, it has everything you wanted. You have to be a bit adventurous. Thank you, Jeffrey. I'm happy as well. It's good when you come to the stage where you don't want to touch anything. It's like, oh, I might mess it up. And this is also good insight into how long it can take to, dial in a new sound. I mean, it's sometimes it's faster, but I like to totally throw things around. And yesterday I worked on a super high gain sound. If you saw my shorts and my live video, today I wanted a different sound, and then it takes you some time to just change everything. I'm probably going to be recording some shorts with this today, and tomorrow I'll go for something new, because that's how I remain inspired. Do you plan to have a member that can everybody join you on YouTube? I don't have any memberships planned. If you want to support me, Patreon is a good place, and you'll find the link in my profile. I haven't really figured it out yet, but it's a cool question, because I need, in the long term, I'm going to need some kind of incentive to keep prioritizing these streams. But I do think they're a lot of fun, so I will continue doing them. I would like to go all in for them, but I'm going to need some kind of setup for that, and I don't know what that would be yet. So if you have any suggestions, I also would like to cover more topics. We had a suggestion for Mental Health Monday that I liked a lot, but I haven't really wrapped my head around it, because Mental Health Monday would indicate I need to do it every Monday, and that could severely impact my mental health. so I don't know. We'll have to think about it. Listen to the sound. Pretty cool. I think the in-between position here is the best one. So position 1, 2, 3, 4 between these two. Babiliona, what's up? Let's try this with a soft pick and see how it sounds. So I've been doing like a thick gauge pick here. You can't bend it at all. But now I'm gonna try this one. See how that works out. So my favorite guitar player, that's a cool question. There's been hundreds of them, right? But right now, just purely looking at the guitar, I would say somewhere in between John Scofield and maybe Blue Saraceno. And I also try to get inspiration from all these new, guys like Matthias Asato and Ichikamo, I think is his name. Sorry for butchering that one. A slide. Good question there. We could do some sliding. Babylona remembers me. Awesome. But when I started out, I had heaps of them. Marty Friedman, Eric Johnson, Yngwie, Satch, Vi, all the shrapnel, like Greg Howe, Tony McAlpine, love them. So, slide. In D minor now. I think an ideal slide sound, but I'm not very good at that, but I'm learning. Babylona, go. Yes, definitely using my Mark V. Oh, so you're the one who had three Mesa Boogies? Do you ever just use the side of the pick? No, not often. Most of the time I use the pick. If I want a different sound, I'll usually just go for fingers, right? So this kind of thing. I'm using my fingers here. So Mehmed, it sounds like you have a preamp tube issue, perhaps, if it's crackling. So you can easily find some tutorials how to locate the preamp tube. Usually preamp tubes are easier and less expensive to change. Awesome, Babylona. So you live close to the Mark V or the Mesa Boogie factory. I like it. I need to stop doing this. And just to let you know, I have a power attenuator connected now. Normally, I guess it's not really needed for this amp, but it's very useful for these streams, right? Because I'm only using this one to get the sound to you. That's the More Radar cabinet simulator. Shorts where I basically show you how to include some more shreddy arpeggios within blues licks. I need to practice it first. Yeah, the smaller tubes, the 12AX or whatever they're called. It depends a little bit on the amp, of course. Volume swell. Lucille from Australia, awesome. No problem, Lucille, that's on my amp. So Babylona, no, I can't use any setting if I want the amp silent. So I need the amp silent so I can just output the line out to you guys. But the good thing with this setup is I actually have it on full 90 watts. I have full power, so you get the headroom and the dynamic range, but no sound coming in the room. So that's why it's so cool with the power attenuator for these streams. But I do use the 5-watt mode sometimes. I found myself using it less and less and actually go for the headroom and use some pedals. But sometimes I want to really pushed or compressed lead tone without any pedals, and then I'll often go for not the 10-watt mode, 5-watt, it doesn't exist here, it's 10-watt, and I'll go for the variac power. But this sound is pretty much the opposite. I'm making use of the headroom here to get the... And if I turn off the compression pedal, I have even more headroom. Guys, so I want to thank you a lot for tuning in. This was a bit of an experimental session, but I think it worked out okay. You let me know if that extra screen was helpful. I found myself, it did feel a little bit weird when I spent a whole session trying to tweak and you couldn't even see what I was tweaking, or the opposite, you could only see what I was tweaking and you couldn't see my playing or my face. Now I try to include a bit of everything. It's still a little bit up and down here, a little bit messy, but I'm going to work on it and hopefully it'll get better and better. I can't do a dive bomb right now, sorry man. Yeah, I've been, it's always a privilege playing for you guys, speaking to you guys, and getting your input. I love how you give suggestions as to, playing wise, try slide, try volume swells. That's awesome because it inspires me to try different things. If my inspiration remains on top, I will record a whole bunch of shorts with this sound so you can enjoy it more calmly on your own and hopefully learn something from me as well. As always, I keep uploading these shorts, so you might want to check out my channel for those as well. But it's been a privilege speaking to you guys. You've been amazing, and I've been Christopher Dahl. Have a good one. See ya. Cheers.